is the last session of the Deerfield Caucus. With us tonight is Jim Moyer, a candidate for trustee. And after this one, this will conclude all the interviews for this year's caucus committee to hear. So to start out, we're going to introduce ourselves, and then we'll hear from Jim Moyer.
Jerry Levy.
Jack Sears.
Margaret Shades.
Steve Snyder.
Michael Shalin.
David Kurton.
Harry Gold.
Mike Duvall.
Thank you. And here again, I appreciate you guys making a, an adjustment in the schedule for me. I was out of town, and, this means a lot to me. I certainly want to try to, earn your vote to potentially be on the slate. And, so that's thank you. Just a brief statement, a couple things. I've lived in Deerfield for the last 18 years with my wife, Lynn, and my two daughters, Olivia and Erica. Both of my daughters went to the elementary schools here, Wilmot, Caruso, and Deerfield High School. My oldest daughter, Erica, is a graduate from Indiana University. My youngest, Olivia, is a senior at Kansas University. And as far as my public affairs with the village, I currently serve on the Plan Commission. Prior to that, I was on the Building Zoning Appeals Board. Active in the Sons of the American Legion, Park District, the Deerfield Days events. So that's kind of my community affairs deal. As far as my employment, I've been with the Fields Auto Group for the last 28 years. Currently hold the position of VP of Operations for the Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and Fiat stores. I actually had many jobs in that company, head bottle washer, porter, finance manager, sales manager, used car manager, but for the last 14 years I've been running the stores. A couple things that I see that really pushes me to try to get the trustee position. Really the business side of things are really what I do, and I understand. In our industry, you have to pretty much recreate yourself every month because you're only as good as your last month. So it's an ongoing battle, likewise with being a village in these tough economic times where you have, your other villages that you're competing with to get the businesses to come and sell or work out of your village and get the residents to come in and use them. I believe it's important that we have cooperation, collective unity from all the boards working together on events. And my big thing, and I obviously wrote it out in my application here, is I really believe that we need to have a new business development and events person on village staff. I think we're remiss because we do not have that. I think that he or she, that person, is crucial to head up, whatever efforts, the efforts we need to make the strides to get the businesses and the residents down into the commercial areas to utilize them. That's, kind of a couple of my thoughts. I'm open for questions.
We'll start here with Mike.
Sure.
Could you talk a little bit about business development and events person?
Sure.
What type of person do you see it being? What kind of level of position, salary level, and do you know if there's any neighboring towns that have these types of positions?
Actually, yeah. A couple things. One is Highland Park does, and so does Libertyville. They do have an active person on staff as an advocate for those two areas. I think as far as who should be the person, certainly somebody with some real estate or marketing background would be ideal. Would be a good start, and obviously work closely with the village manager, the trustees, and the other thing that I threw out there was a business development task force would would be another board that I'd like to see put together to assist the new business development person and events. As far as pay, a couple of things, a lot of thought, and there's a lot of people out there that are looking for work. There's a lot of kids that graduated recently that are out of work, and they're very talented. In the internet world that we're in and where we need to be, we can get somebody to come in, I'm sure, at a reasonable salary, but even more importantly, if we have an advocate that's working with the property owners, the business owners, to fill, some of these vacancies, if you think about us getting somebody that's going to be an advocate for the village and really getting a sales tax business in there rather than just a business that doesn't pay sales tax, that's going to pay for that person. So that's kind of my thoughts. And you can potentially pay the person on their productivity in those areas.
Do you see it as being a long-term position or something short-term to get over a hump here for these recent vacancies?
Well, I would say, it would be a long-term position. I think it's something that we need. I think that, here again, getting the residents active in coming to the downtown is also a key of this component of this job. Really, here again, if you have your residents coming down using the businesses, it's going to make the world go round. I mean, it's just a fact. So.
What kind of events are you talking about? You said your last bullet point on the last page is have more events in the business district. Exactly what kind of events?
Well, our business district, really a lot of our park districts are in our business district. So that's why I said that it was very important to have the cooperation of all the boards, including the park district. We could have Deerfield Days. Would be certainly, a Taste of Deerfield would certainly be a one. We have a wonderful running away athletic shop that sells obviously running wear and bicycles. They can have a bike marathon. I mean, there's thousands of things that we can do to entice and get folks to come and get involved, and experience our downtown.
Okay, good.
What if you bring up this idea of having this professional hired and you get some resistance as far as, well, Deerfield can't afford it. It's just not in our budget.
Yeah, that's a great point. Well, looking at what's going on, we can't afford it. We have to do it. We have to get somebody that's going to be an advocate for what we need to move forward, and that's getting these storefronts filled, getting people to come downtown. What I see, I go to, other villages, and I, go to their restaurants and things of that sort. And I got to tell you, one thing that really is key is seeing, outsiders coming into your village. And I think, and spending their money. I mean, that's ultimately what we want to have happen. And, so I think we can afford it. There's budget there. Here again, as far as the pay, we can structure the pay so it's based on performance. And here again, if you start getting businesses in the village that generate retail sales tax rather than just property tax, then you're ahead of the game.
Okay.
I have a question about the northwest quadrant.
Yes.
It's sitting there, it's ugly.
Right.
And you're talking about bringing people downtown, bringing them into the area.
Right.
What ideas do you have about what we can do with that area?
Well, that's a long-term
Yeah.
thing, and I believe there was just a board put together. Dan, am I right or wrong on that one? A task force to try to figure that whole one out. I think here again, you got a wonderful park there. You can have some wonderful concerts in Jewett Park there. I think that would be lovely. Maybe have some vendors there from the local restaurants serving food. I think that's one thing you can do. Have a Taste of Deerfield. There's a whole you know, there's a whole bunch of things you can do. But at the end of the day, you know, that northwest quadrant has been an eyesore for quite a long time. I agree with you. What is the answer? I know there was a task force just put together to address that, but I think, you know, you got to look at that whole area in the long term. I think one thing we don't want to do, and that is make another mistake where you build storefronts and things of that sort, and it's not affordable for, you know, the mom and pop stores. I mean, that's part of the problem. You know, you build these big malls and centers, and, you know, at the end of the day, you know, most businesses can't afford the rent. So that's a problem. So, you know, so kind of my answer.
Are you referring to downtown, the Village Square
Yes,
specifically?
yes.
Is there anything that you would like to see done? Is there anything that can be done to remedy that, in your view?
Well, you know, I was thinking about that too. I think that potentially, you know, maybe there could be some kind of a, you know, relief, you know, with the rent, be it the sales tax. You know, it's a slippery slope, because then the next guy's going to say, well, why don't I get a deal? I mean, so it's kind of a tough deal. I think what you see succeed in those developments are obviously large corporation-owned stores. So, you know, that's, you know, here again, I think, you know, the service business is a large industry, and, you know, to get creative and try to get those stores filled. Obviously, I would think to have this, you know, new business development person to kind of get involved in that and see how creative you can get.
Working with the task force?
Yes.
Has the task force, has that been tried somewhere else? You talked about it.
No, but you know, if you look at what I have talked about, I think, you know, it's just, you know, I don't have all the answers, but I think if you get here again, you get somebody that's heading up that whole committee, you get the village manager, you get folks that are in town that are actually business owners, you get the trustees involved. You know, I think you reach out to the other villages that do have folks in those positions and do have, you know, a new business development person. I think you can get some great ideas on how to advance the ball here. What I guess the other thing too is, you know, we've had a couple of medical businesses obviously come into the village, which is wonderful, but it isn't. You know, the problem with those guys is that they're not generating sales tax, and come to find out that they don't pay property tax either. They're nonprofits. So I think that's something that we're addressing on Plan Commission, or attempting to. But I think, you know, this is the stuff we need to be in front of. You know, prime real estate, and unfortunately our hands are tied just because of what you know, the text amendments were that we were talking about to potentially offset that were not put in place yet. So we've played a lot of defense here in Deerfield. It's time to play offense, and you know, we can't sit on the sidelines. I mean, here again, you're surrounded by resilient villages that are very aggressive, think outside the box. You know, it's time to move on. I mean, it's time to do it. Let's go.
You were talking about more activities?
Yes.
For people, to bring people into the village?
Yes.
What age are you talking about? Are you talking about families? You're talking about young marrieds?
I'm talking about everybody.
Just any and everybody?
Yeah, I mean, look at Highwood. They had a pumpkin fest. It was
Yeah, right.
nationally televised. That's a little town. I mean,
know, I turned the TV
kabam.
on and there it was. I thought,
That's right. I mean, what a cool thing, you know? So,
okay, the Deerfield Family Theater
yes,
just finished performing, The King and I. I've been going to that for years.
Right.
I have a child who has been in it for many years. The attendance was so poor this year. Now, there we go, talking about activities in the village. This is, you know, the talent pool is fabulous.
right.
Obviously, we all know the music from The King and I is beautiful. But years past, the place has been packed. There were empty seats everywhere. I was there 3 times. It was never any better. Now, this is something, an activity in the village that
Right.
people can go to, take their children to. They didn't come this year.
Yeah.
But again, what, you know, what...
Who's promoting, I mean, I guess I got to ask the question, who's promoting it? Are they reaching out to the high school kids that are in, you know, the
Well,
clubs?
their ages from, 5 to 17.
I would have made the high school kids go part of a class. I mean, so there's things you can do. I mean, I can't control all these boards, but I can tell you that I think we need to do a better job to reach out and let everybody know what's going on and heighten the, you know,
I don't know what happened, but,
that.
are we talking about more new things that perhaps people are not going to support?
well, I think if you have more outside activities, that's mainly what I'm probably talking about during the summer and, you know, months and things of that sort. I think that's primarily what I'm talking about. You know, I think if they're more family oriented, you know, I think that's a good thing.
Well, there is outdoor music in the
Right.
summertime, not only downtown, but, in parks.
Right, but, you know, I think that we can jack it up a level. I mean, it's there, but is it promoted? Is it got all the extra bells and whistles? I don't believe so. I think it needs to go to the next level, you know, so.
Jim, I have a question for you. Can you pick an example of business experience where maybe
Yeah.
you've developed a business case that wasn't exactly the most popular business case in the world, but you're able to sell it?
Well, my thing is, and I tell my employees, I said, you know what, create the magic, whatever that may be. I'm not going to be upset with you or whatever, but take care of the customer ultimately. I've always said that. You know, it reflects what we do. But at the end of the day, I had a case, guy had a 2011 Wrangler. The driver's seat, the leather was split. We had ordered the leather to replace it. 3 months went by, we couldn't get it from the manufacturer. 5 months went by, and the guy was being reasonable, you know. And so at the end of the day, what I did was I said, you know what, if we can't get this at this day, we're going to put brand new leather and, you know, a whole new set of leather from an outside company that we use, and that's what we did. So we did do that, you know. We got folks that sometimes, you know, can't always make it into our shop. They're elderly. We'll go and pick up their cars for them. I mean, so, you know, it's whatever it takes. You know, we're in a service industry, business. You know, we got to think outside the box. You know, not everybody's happy when they come in my door, but at the end of the day, we got to, you know, resolve whatever their issues are. You know, some folks you can't make them happy, but, you know, you can do the best you can and be fair, and that's what we do, and that's what I do.
But you said you also set policy.
Right.
And I would assume that your general manager requires
Oh, yeah.
some visibility into introduction of new policy within the company. And what kind of an example could you tell us about something new that you wanted to introduce that required a sell to your peers and to your GM?
Well, as much as it sounds crazy, we have express service in our stores.
Mm-hmm.
We have a car wash.
Mm-hmm.
So you have express service, you have the customers coming in, they're waiting a half hour for an oil change, and then, you know, our car wash is open to anybody that buys a car from us, so the line could be an hour long. So that car potentially could end up back in that car wash line, because that's part of the service we give when you get service done by us. So now that customer potentially is going to wait an hour and a half for a half-hour oil change. So what we do is I have the guys actually hand wash the cars inside the shop to resolve that issue. I mean, you know, so. As far as any other issues, I mean, you know, they pop up and you address them, and, you know, it's just you know, it's just an ongoing, you know, adventurous, you know, business.
Thank you.
Sorry I was late, everyone. It was a late train, and I apologize to all of you. So how would you, or do you take your experiences on the ZBA and Plan Commission and translate any of those experiences for your benefit to the Board of Trustees?
Actually, I do. Because the cases I see now, prior than being on the Building and Zoning Appeals Board, are certainly more in-depth. And a perfect example, we had a case come in front of us, the Amcor property, or is it Amcor, or the bank in front of Home Depot. Peapod wants to go in there, and they are, I believe. They came in front of our board for a hearing, to workshop, just so we can kind of see what they're doing and want to do. And being the retail guy that I am, the attorney's up there saying, hey, we're going to be a great neighbor, you know, we're going to pay property tax, we're doing a good job, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I thought that was great. So I got around to ask, you know, my turn to ask questions. I said, okay, I said, let me ask you a question. How is the transactions done with Peapod? Fair question. The guy goes, well, they're done online. I go, okay, that's great. Who gets the sales tax? Like Zurich? I said, well, I got a problem with that. It's not helping Deerfield. Not only are you not paying retail sales tax, you're taking tax away from Whole Foods and Jewel. So that's an example. That's something I learned. It's something because what I do, I kind of understand what's going on in the retail world. So that was my 2 cents, and it was a little bit of an education, but I was able to kind of see through what was going on, and I understood what happened. So.
You know, it sounds like you have some good ideas. You have passion. You have some energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just sort of curious. Suppose you get on to the trustee, and in particular the idea about adding a staff member,
Mm-hmm.
and it just hypothetically, you know, you don't get any support for that. Then what happens?
Well, then I work a little harder. You know, I would get paid a lot for this job, so I'd work a little harder. I got to tell you, I mean, at the end of the day, I know I'm the last candidate here to interview with you folks, but we've done everything else. We got to move on. We got to move the ball. I think Harriet is a wonderful mayor. I think she's open to, you know, a lot of ideas, new ideas. I think she's willing to do, if it makes sense, to do it. You know, and I think I'm not going to say I'd have her support, but I think she would certainly look at it, and potentially, you know, and the rest of the trustees, I think they, you know, look, I haven't served on the board. This isn't the first time these issues have come up. 4 years ago they came up. Not a whole lot has happened, and you know, I think that they're willing to listen and understand and make moves and change. You know, we're not in the same place we were back when the comprehensive plan was written back in '04. You know, that's another thing that I mentioned there. You know, you got e-commerce, you got certainly different economic times that we're in. People are making a lot less money. They're working twice as hard. The large retail spaces need probably 30% less space than they need now because of the e-commerce stuff going on. You know, and so, you know, I think, you know, the folks that are going to be trustees and the mayor certainly are all ears.
This is a very important issue. There are a myriad other issues that the trustees deal with. So again, my question is, you get shot down on this. How
Right.
engaged are you going to be with the rest of the things?
I'm going to be engaged.
Okay.
You know, looking at my work history and my accomplishments and my involvement in, you know, the village, you know, I think it speaks, you know, a lot.
Okay, thank
You
you.
know, so.
You want to go another line?
No other questions? Thank you.
Just want to bring up something concerning the comprehensive plan. You said something to the effect that it needs some updating. Can you elaborate on that?
Mm-hmm. It needs updating in the sense of the way we vet business and look at businesses to come in our village, and the way retail is transacted, nowadays, and that's a lot of e-commerce stuff going on.
Anyone else?
I just had a question about, you're working full-time, I assume?
No, I'm a house mom. No, I'm kidding.
How many hours a week?
I work, I got a good staff. I've been there a while, so they give me a little break. I work about 45, 50 hours a week.
Youngest?
9 to 5.
And your youngest child is how old?
She is 21. I was just down there 2 weeks ago for Parents' Weekend, and it's hard to keep up with 21-year-olds.
All right, but you feel you'd have time to devote to the
Oh, yeah,
position?
absolutely. Yeah. I think I'm pretty good track record on the Plan Commission,
Okay.
so. But, yeah, I'd love to certainly be a trustee. I think, we have a great opportunity here with some, some new blood potentially, some folks that are really tied into these issues that are really facing us now. I can bring a lot to the table. I think outside the box. I'm very creative. I love Deerfield, and, I just would appreciate an opportunity.
Are there any other issues that haven't come up that you think need to be addressed? I know we've talked the real estate seems to always be everybody.
Right.
Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about that nobody's brought up yet?
Well, I think you guys, a couple of you brought up some good points. I think the involvement we kind of talked about the involvement in the village, coming out and, just experiencing what we do here and what we have and having more of that happen. I think the Northwest Quadrant, no, I'm kidding. You already talked about that. But I just think we got to get our house in order. We got to stop playing defense, and we got to be proactive on a lot of issues. But these are the key ones. But I'd just really like to see, people come out more often and get involved and just do more grassroots events and things of that sort in the village. I think that's what really, solidifies, I think that's what we're missing. This is a great town, don't get me wrong, but, we got a couple areas where we need to jack it up, and, we got an opportunity to do that. We just had a Pilates studio open up across from Village Hall, which is awesome. I think that's great. We need more art stuff. I think the running store's fantastic. That type of stuff gets people to come, I mean, it's important, so. I think we need to have more affordable, rent space for businesses, because we're going to do such a great job. They're going to be knocking the doors down. So, we need to move the ball and all that.
How much control do we have of that?
You know what? We only have what efforts we put into it. So if we wanted to keep sitting there and saying, well, it's the landlord's responsibility, we're going to get what we get.
But how cooperative is he?
Well, I'll tell you what, he would love you to drop off a person in front of him and say, I want to rent your space, or I'm considering renting your spot.
But how hardcore is he about his rents? Does he?
Well, that's, obviously that's not my,
That's what I mean. How much control now just?
We don't, but all we can do is awareness and potentially get in front of people that we, that landlord may have not gotten in front of, and promote our village, what we do, what opportunities there are, what space we have. I mean, here again, we've got to be proactive. I mean, do I have the answer for everything? No, but I know if you just sit there and do nothing, nothing's going to happen, so.
What's your thoughts on the role of the Chamber of Commerce in communities like Deerfield? Are they engaged?
Well, I'm actually a
Or
chamber
not?
member, and I have been so for the last, I'd say about 6, 7 years. Yeah, you know what, they're involved. They try to get the businesses together, talk, and try to get everybody to be aware of what they do and what's out there. I think are they the answer? No, but they certainly are a crucial part of trying to marry everything together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they would be a major part of the task force and/or working with the new business development person. Absolutely. They're already kind of, they know kind of what's going on. I mean, I'm sure they'd be happy for whatever assistance that they could be given to,
Good.
You talked about the park district before,
Mhm.
and maybe even the school district, I don't know. and we know that there are different taxing bodies. So what ideas would you have in trying to get more cooperation between school district, park district, village?
I would get the three heads of all those boards and put them in a room and lock the door and say, hey, look, you know what, we got to start getting people out, getting involved, and have them work with this business development person to figure out a game plan on how they can work together and advance Deerfield. You know, people are crying that, you know, I mean, I'm going to say this, my kids used to call it Deadfield. You know, now, good or bad, wrong or indifferent, there was not a lot of stuff going on for these guys. That's what they used to say to me. You know, but whatever. The kids are kids. But you know what? At the end of the day, I want to get involved. I want to get more activities, folks involved more, and you know, move the ball in those areas.
If we go around talking to your staff, what would they say your management style is like?
You know, I'm a shoot from the hip. I mean, I'm just a whatever, you know, I'm as it comes, you know, here you go, let's go. You know, I'm pretty creative, on my toes. And here again, you know, in my position, you're seeing a lot of different things. I'm dealing with thousands of customers a month. You know, anywhere from, you know what, I need an ice cream cone to my wheel fell off or whatever, you know, and you just make the best out of what you know, with the situation. And at the end of the day, you make the customer whole. You know, you take care of them, and that's, you know, that's been, you know, the company I work for, Fields. We're known for that, and you know what, I'm blessed to be part of that whole organization, and you know, they let me do my thing, and it's worked very well.
Thanks.
So, yeah.
Are you interested?
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
Are you interested in promoting current things, or all new things, or a combination thereof?
I would say a combination. You know, here, we got some great events and activities that do happen here. They need some, you know, tweaking, that's all. You know, they need to be, you know, tweaked a little bit, you know, and add some new ones.
Because again, I'm thinking about something that I'm aware of that nobody goes to, like
Yeah.
the Veterans Day thing.
Well, you know, you guys are gonna laugh at me. Anybody see The Music Man? With Henry Hill?
Yes,
That's
sure.
me. I had a dream, I was Henry Hill. Got everybody involved, sold everybody instruments, they all came out, they finally got involved. There you go.
Well, my husband is a veteran,
Oh, God bless him.
and obviously that's an important thing for him.
Yeah.
But you go there and there's half a dozen people there, 8 people
Yeah.
there.
I'll tell you what, I am actually a member of the Sons of the American Legion. I think you might have known that. I actually received, because I get involved with these guys, I actually received a certificate of appreciation Saturday night.
Very
So,
nice.
I get involved, I help them out, I think it's a wonderful deal for the past, the current. I think it's an important thread of this community, and, you know, here again, it's just one more thing that I'm involved in that I believe in, and, you know, I've been a SAL member for about 6-7 years now. But it's you know, these are things that we all need to be involved in and do, and
We do have things going on presently that need to be promoted,
Right.
perhaps as well as new things.
right. You know, you talked about potentially, you talked about promoting new old things. Well, here's an old thing that needs to be promoted more. You need more people involved in it. I think it's a wonderful cause. I'm involved. I'm blessed. I'm blessed that my dad and my grandfather served. You know, I didn't serve, but you know, I pay homage to those two guys. You know, they did a hell of a job for this country. But at the end of the day, you know, when we have a coat drive or a food drive or the pantry or, you know, going to visit these guys, you know, we're blessed to be able to do all that because of these guys. So it's an important thing, you know. You gotta, in this position, potentially that I could be in, you gotta recognize and identify and be involved in a variety of different, you know, events in the community, just because, you know, you're serving, you know, a broad band of people, and it's the right thing to do.
You're a pretty persistent person. You've appeared before the caucus a couple of times
Mhm.
already in the past. What makes you a more viable candidate this time around than in the past?
Well, I'll tell you what, some of the experience of maneuvering, with presenting at the caucus, serving on different boards, age. But I think, you guys nominated me in '04. I went to the town hall meeting. I was nervous as heck. And the thing that I didn't do is get all my friends there to vote for me. And I'll be honest with you, that's where I get a little disconnected with the process. And I can be honest with you, I believe that's a little mini election, which it is, and maybe it's because I didn't win, but at the end of the day, that part of it, I really thought it was a little, it didn't sit with me well, but that's the rules, and I'm going to play by the rules. And if I do get nominated this time, I'm going to definitely make sure the place is packed. And I do have plenty of people that are going to show up for me. So,
Anyone else have any questions? Jim, thanks so much for coming in tonight. We appreciate your time and everything, and good luck to you.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate your time, and here again, making a consideration for, letting me speak in front of you. Appreciate it. Go Bears.